in a bit of trouble. This is going to be costly. We've got a little over 450,000 Ford Mavericks and Ford Broncos getting recalled. Kind of huge. So Tesla is in some trouble, maybe huge trouble. Ford is in a bit of trouble. If you're a shareholder, you're going to want to hear this out. You're going to want to listen to this information and make a decision whether you think this is going to affect share price. Share price at Ford has gone down. I'm not too stressed. Share prices at Ford seem to always bounce between $11 to $15. And anytime it starts to get near the 15 mark, sometimes at 13, sometimes at 14, it seems to go back down. It's almost one of those plays that you can just keep buying in low, selling when you start to feel it's a little high, and then buy back a month or two later when it's lower. But you need to pay attention to that Ford and Tesla news to be able to do such moves. I think Tesla might be in some more longer term trouble. I think there might be some stock pricing might get hurt for the next 6 months to even over a year. Ford, I don't know how long. I don't see this being a huge hit long term, but you might want to consider this and know this before buying for your Ford Maverick. So let's get over to that article here. And we will remind you, Volvos are very safe and their sales aren't so hot, but Ford also makes exciting, fun vehicles that are safe. But this recall is a pretty big one. So this Jessica's shared this with the Bronco community over at Bronco Nation, and it's pretty impressive. Ford, over the years, I've seen some pretty intense crashes and lots of damage to the vehicles with occupants walking away. So I think Ford's going to get through this. I'm positive Ford's going to bounce back. But we've got over 450,000 Ford Mavericks Bronco Sports recalled for shutting off while driving. Pretty big deal. This is going to upset people. And we'll have to see. It's going to really upset people if it affects people. But you've got the fact also that vehicles may also fail to restart. So this is an article from James Gilboy. You can go check that out. So thank you very much. A good article. You'll want to check it out. So the Ford Maverick, we've got a problem here. Failing to restart is one issue, but shutting down while driving is a huge issue. Really, really big problem here. So you can check that out over at his handles. You can see them up top. James Gilboy on Instagram or James Gilboy on Twitter. So he's just pointing out that Ford has recalled both the Bronco Sport and the Maverick. And this is pretty big because it's for 2021 Bronco Sport crossovers and 2022 as well as 2023 Maverick pickups. According to the official recall document, the NHTSA became aware of it in October, that the vehicles are prone to failures to start or even loss of power while driving, then leading to a no-start condition. So very problematic. Now, the issue comes down to the vehicle's 12-volt batteries needing to be replaced. That's when investigators found the ultimate cause of what was going on with these batteries. So that's, the whole story of the Mavericks going into sleep mode and draining the battery. It looks like this is what's linked here. For people who've been following this closely, you know all about this. So you've got your 2021 and newer Bronco Sports, your 2022, 2023 Ford Maverick pickups. In total, over 450,000 being affected. Numbers for the Maverick, 53,587. So that's a lot of Ford Mavericks of total production. And for the Bronco Sport, 402,978 Bronco Sports. So you've got both of them implicated in the recall. Now, what's the issue here? Well, there were reports of fire and there was 3 unverified reports of fire and 2 of property damage, though no injuries. So Ford will begin notifying owners of affected vehicles when recall service is available starting May 13th. The service will involve visiting a dealer, and of course, it's going to be free. And the modules in question are going to, of course, be updated at no charge. Now, that's a great question. What is the NHTSA recall to pick up on it? Well, I've got a feeling we can find that pretty quick if we go over to the internet. We'll check this out here. So, Ford Maverick recall, NHTSA. It's the most recent one. And anyways, at the NHTSA website, you can actually put in your VIN number and see if you're affected by it. TSB SSM notice. Nope, that's earlier, November 22nd. We've got, now if anyone has that, if anyone's playing around with the internet right now and can get to it before I can, that would be great. I don't have a VIN number to put in on the NHTSA website. Otherwise, I would definitely do that. Okay, here, no, rear turn signal. I'm sorry, folks, it's going to take a little bit too long to do this live, but Google, just drop in a Google for Ford Maverick and Bronco Sport recent recall. Lawrence Merrick, thank you so much. You've put it right down there in the live chat, so check out the live chat, folks. You'll get the number right from Lawrence. Thank you very much. 45S45. So let's head back to some of these, back to the show here, back to the planned show. So yeah, that's a big deal, and it's not going to stop me from getting a Ford Maverick. No product is perfect when it comes out. What makes a product better is recalls, and that's why I'm so happy. We'll get to the story, but it's good that Tesla is finally doing more recalls. Recalls need to get done. No manufacturer makes a perfect recall. You know, if you've been following the channel, you'll know I've covered shocking news from Toyota. Has been all about hiding problems, sending, vehicles for safety crash testing with good, proper airbags, but then sending them to dealers with not the same airbag model. So known problem being completely hidden up. Very, very serious. It's good. Ford is excessive with the recalls. They often affect a lot of owners, and there's also many. You'll see over the years, Ford has often been the king of recalls, but the product's good. Now, most of that has been during all the excessive recalls, and Ford's going to be in big trouble financially if they continue at this pace, because it hasn't always been the case. You look back at 2019 here. So I've got this JD Power 2019 US initial quality study. They look at, basically how many times you go to the dealer when the vehicle is new, and you can see that in 2019, Ford was at the top. They're the fourth. They're essentially, JD Power was saying Ford as a brand is the fourth most reliable. Go and get yourself a Ford. They're also saying Genesis here. We had a little issue there. So JD Power 2019 US initial quality study was saying that Genesis, Kia, Hyundai, and then Ford were the most reliable brands to get to. Now, it does say here that charts and graphs, previous media economy statement and defining, but yeah. Okay, so they look at its initial quality. They're looking at, what problems arise when the vehicle is new. It's not going to prevent me from getting a Ford Maverick. I would say that it might be the new 2024 black appearance package looks amazing. It is roughly a $2,000 option, but it does look really great. I'll try to get some pics of those over on the Instagram at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. The 2025, I don't have any pics. Still, it's spy photos. You can catch those over at Ford Authority, but it looks like the Ford Maverick for 2025 will get a bigger screen. I suspect there's good chances we have a bit of modification, a little adjustment, a little newness coming to the bumper and grille. I'd be surprised if they change the hood, but that is the type of thing that gets changed on a mid-model refresh. I think a lot of the huge news, I highly suspect, a very educated speculation is going to be that we'll have an all-wheel drive hybrid version for the Ford Maverick. And if you check out on the internet, if you're on Maverick Truck Club over the years, you'll have seen that people who've had accidents with the Ford Maverick are very impressed. Ford makes these really, really safe. And it doesn't surprise me. Remember, Ford used to own Volvo, Land Rover, Jaguar, Aston Martin. Am I saying that right? Aston Martin? Anyways. Oh, and Mazda. Now, Volvo, for decades, has been the safest brand. And Ford, on the Ford Fusion, the Lincoln MKZ, the Escapes, the Focus, the Lincoln MKC, those were essentially cut and copy platforms from Volvo. They did very little to change the platform. It was essentially coming straight from Maverick. Got Maverick on the brain, love these little trucks. But it was coming straight from Volvo. And, I said little truck, but this is right size, because when you get inside of this, two decent sized men can sit beside each other and not feel like they're on a date. Which, whether that's, whatever, it's comfortable. There's a ton more space than you would suspect. However, the new 2024 Ford Ranger, I found the 23 looked a little small and a little weak looking. The new 2024 Ranger looks the part. It looks a lot bigger and a lot tougher than the Ford Maverick. But then when it comes to interior space, not a huge difference between the Ford Maverick and the new Ranger. Remember, the Ford Maverick and the previous Ranger interior, very similar. The new Ranger is 2 inches wider, 2 inches longer. So it's really nice. I'm really excited about the new Ranger, and that's why we'll get to it in this live. We're going to be covering that in episode 4.